All right, guys, let's talk about checking whether an Instagram influencer is actually going to be worth the money. So, a couple of things that you need to know about Instagram influencers is a lot of the big pages are in engagement groups. So, engagement group, or they're also known as Telegram groups, other words for them as well. But an engagement group is pretty much a group of pages. Let's say they're all over 100,000 followers and they're all in a DM message or on Kick Messenger, whatever. Many people do it many different ways. We have a few through DM and a couple through Kick Messenger. And so what happens is, let's say I'm with one page. Hang on, I'll show you. So let's say I'm with this page, right, in this group. This page has just messaged the DM group and said, we just posted a pic. And so then everyone that's in the group, let's say there's 10 of us, we go and like the pic and then comment on it. And then, usually with 3 to 5 words, something pretty small, usually like wow, whatever. That's how you can spot them as well. But the reason you do this is because then it's going to put these people on the popular page. The more engagement that a photo gets straight off the bat on Instagram, it puts it on the explore page. So when it's on the explore page, obviously more people see it, more people follow it, and then therefore your followers are going to go to that page, and also it's going to get on that explore page. And so you're just helping each other grow each other's account. So things to look out for are, if you see a post that just went up by, like, let's say Puppystagrams, this one here, and then straight away there's a couple of posts, a couple of posts from accounts that are just like, wow, oh, great pic, and like just something basic like that, and they're huge accounts as well. Usually they're in an engagement group and they're helping grow each other's helping grow each other's pages. But that can be okay. Another thing to look out for though is check their recent engagement. So if they're in engagement groups, that doesn't really matter. It just means they're growing their page as long as they're actually getting good engagement on their posts. So you don't want to be paying for an influencer. Let's say they charge $25. You don't want a $25 ad that's going to be to fake followers. So the way you can check for this is to go and check out the recent engagement on their ads. This can take a little bit of effort, but all you do is you would go through, based off of like how many followers the page has, obviously, you would think of how much engagement it should have on each post, and then make your decision based off that. So this page obviously gets some good engagement, but it has a lot of followers, so of course it's going to. But in different niches, pages that don't do well on every post, you'll really see a difference between like good posts and bad posts. And then another thing to do, which we'll cover just here, is you want to check the recent engagement on ads. So if they're posting sponsored posts, like other people paying for shout outs, you want to check that out. So this one is getting 4,900 compared to like 32.6K. So that's obviously a lot less engagement, which is to be expected because you're running an ad to them when they're just following to see all the dogs and stuff. But if it's really low, then you might not want to use that page because you don't want to be paying your hard-earned money to a page that isn't really going to get any engagement when you post a sponsored post on there. So that's something you want to pay attention to as well. What else did I write down here? Yeah, look at how often they post sponsored content. So I have a rule with my page. If someone pays me for a post, I will post, but then I won't post anything for another hour or 2 hours, and that's usually what I do. But some people might post your sponsored post, and then they post 10 minutes after with another sponsored post. Well, that's a real problem. So that's something you might want to ask the influencer as well, because what can happen is your post that you paid your money for gets buried on top by another post that, it could even be the same product. Like if we're contacting a dog page like we've got here, and we're selling let's say we're selling some sort of dog clothing, and then someone else on this very day posts some dog clothing that's just after yours, like 10 minutes later, that's not very fair on you, and you've kind of wasted your money on that. So be aware of that, because that is very much something that can happen. Ask to see their metrics. So they have all their all their metrics, where their followers are from, what time of day is best to post. That's a good one to ask as well, especially if you're only paying for like a let's say you're paying for a 2 or 4 hour post. Well, you don't want to be posted when there's no engagement on their page. You want to ask them when the best time is to post, and to post at that time. So that's what I would call prime time. You definitely want to know where their followers are from, because again, if they're all from India or something like that, you pretty well know that that's they're fake followers, like ghost followers they're called, and they're not going to give you any engagement or pay you any money. All of my followers are pretty much from America and Canada and UK and mainly Australia, so that's why my page is pretty popular. So I'm always happy to share my metrics. If people are a bit crazy about wanting to share their metrics, that's usually because they got something to hide. So another thing you could be asking here when you contact them is what actually does well on their page. Like if you're going to post some sort of dog item, you could ask them what would do well on their page, because they've probably done sponsored posts before. And this is another one. Let's say you test one ad, so you've paid for one ad and it did do well. You might have got a couple of sales, or it just got a lot of traffic, so you might want to test another product. If you're going to use the same person again, make sure you ask them if they do bulk deals, because none of these prices are set in stone. They're just posting photos on the internet for money, so be sure to ask for bulk deals. I do bulk deals like 3 photos, you get $10 off. 3 posts, you get $10 off, and then maybe 5 posts, you get $15 off or $20 off. I do that for sure, so make sure you ask that, because if you don't ask, they'll just keep taking your money. Don't worry about that. One other thing you can look at is flanks.com for checking engagement on influencers. So if we just go Google first. Phalanx, yeah, this one. So this, I believe this is a paid one, but what this does is it will check the engagement rate of influencers. Okay, that's not the right thing. Go back. I don't know what the hell that was, but we'll just go. Oh my god. There we go. Flanks. Engagement calculator. Now don't go to that random thing that popped up before, please. If it does, we'll just exit out. No, this looks alright. So what this does is it checks the engagement rate. So here you go. Let's go, what's this on? Dogs of World. That's how about Goldens _ Glee? What's got a big one here? So Golden Retrievers. Let's search that. So we're gonna go Golden Retrievers. Is that how you spell it? And we're gonna hit enter. So just check that it's the same page, which it is. So now we know that they have a 4.75% engagement rate, which is actually pretty good, and average interactions per post is 13,305 and 1,040 comments. So we could figure that out just by looking at it as well. So it's the same thing. You would go across and just check it out, make sure that they have good general engagement, which they do. So this is actually a pretty good influencer. So this is one, so it's called Flanks, PHLANX, and then there's another one, just go Google again, and it is called Social Blade. You can also use this one for YouTube. So it checks statistics just like Flanks. So if we have this on Instagram, and then how was that written again? Just Golden Retrievers, okay. So we'll search the name up here, Golden Retrievers. Enter. And it's going to give it a ranking, and it's also going to tell you about the followers up here. So pictures uploaded, blah, blah, blah. It's going to give you more stats down here, how many followers they gain per day, per day, if they lose any followers, etc. So it's pretty cool. With these two, you can really make a informed decision, besides the fact that you can just go through and generally have a look and see what the engagement is like on the page. But you can make an informed decision on whether you think they're worth paying money to. And if they tell you some ridiculous price, you can talk them down by saying, look, I don't want to pay that much for this. And if they're not being any good, like, to deal with, just move on to the next one. There's lots and lots of pages on Instagram, and lots of people will take your money to give you a shout out, because, yeah, like I said, it's pretty basic. You're paying them to post a photo with a caption on their Instagram. Actually, while I think about it, another thing that you may have to pay for, because it's different for different pages, is, so the story might be different. So let's say if you paid for 12 hours on my page, it's what do we got here? Yeah, 12 hours. Sorry, I just had a brain fade. 12 hours for $15 I charge. Then let's say you wanted a story. The story is $20 extra. If you wanted the link in the bio, so it's a direct link on their page, that's $5 extra. So that's something that I do with mine. And then, yeah, like if you've done 24 hours, I charge $30. And those are my options. Some people only have certain options. Some people will do 1 hour, 2 hours, 6 hours. I honestly just don't have the spare time to be putting up things and tearing them, pulling them down, etc. So I just do 12 hours and 24 hours. The Instagram story is $20. Story can do well as well, because you can have the swipe up feature straight to your website, or to your product, to your Instagram, etc. Link in bio is usually $5 extra. That's what I charge. And yeah, this is pretty much everything you could possibly need to know about Instagram influencers.